So on October 19th, we got this story about the first transgender Playboy Playmate in Playboy's 64 years of being a magazine. And in this video, I'm going to show you how this story is coded by the numbers, just like every other story in the mainstream media. I'm going to talk about Gematria, which is the practice of coding numbers into words. I'll leave a link in the description called How to Gematria. I'll also leave a few other links that you can go and you can get a better understanding of what I am talking about. But this happens all of the time in the mainstream media. It's always coded by the same system, the practice of coding numbers into words. And the reason that we're getting this story about the first transgender Playboy Playmate in Playboy's 64 years of being a magazine is because in Gematria, the word transgender equals 64. And if you don't think that's interesting, think about who is the spokesperson for transgenders, right? The one that everybody knows is Caitlyn Jenner, but his real name is actually William Jenner. I'll even pull it up here. William Bruce Jenner, right? William Jenner in Gematria, 64. And remember, he posed on Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair, 64. So now we're getting a story about the first transgender that equals 64 in Playboy's 64 years of being a magazine. And in Gematria also, Hugh Hefner equals 64. And he died just before the 64th anniversary of Playboy's being a magazine. A lot of other stuff in regards to Hugh Hefner as well. But we'll just keep this video short. So another interesting thing about the word transgender, the big way in Gematria, which is simple English Gematria, the word transgender equals 172 in reverse. And this is super significant because Hugh Hefner just died 172 days after his birthday. If you write out Playboy magazine, it equals 172. If you write out Playboy bunny, it equals 172. Also, Marilyn Monroe, who was the first ever centerfold, or it was the sweetheart of the month, or whatever it was back in the day. Marilyn Monroe, 172. And we've been getting a whole bunch of stories that are connected to Marilyn Monroe if you pay attention in the media. I'm not going to go on a tangent on that as well, but just keep in mind that Marilyn Monroe had an affair with JFK, supposedly. And we just got the story about Donald Trump releasing the JFK confidential files of his assassination and whatnot. I'll explain that in a whole separate video. There's a whole lot more to it. But let's go back to this story then. So, Marilyn Monroe, the first centerfold, 172. Playboy bunny equals 172. Playboy magazine, 172. The word transgender equals 172. And Hugh Hefner dies 172 days after his birthday. The article then goes on to say that although this person is the first transgender playmate, there have been other transgenders in Playboy before. And they mentioned Carolyn Cossey, which is interesting because Carolyn Cossey in Gematria equals 64. I'll show it to you really quick. Carolyn Cossey, 64 in Gematria, And Inez Rao, or however you say that name, it equals 33 in Gematria. And think about Carolyn Cossey. C. C is the third letter. 33. 33 is really important to the people who practice this knowledge and code our media this way, code our sports leagues this way, code our history this way. It's the highest known degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. It's the age Jesus supposedly died on the cross. Lots of other important things in regards to 33. But look at this. Playboy in Gematria. Playboy, 33. Just like the name of the first transgender Playboy Playmate. And the article even brings up this other transgender with a CC name, right? Just like Christopher Columbus. CC, sent by the CC, the Catholic Church. to supposedly discover America, even though there were already people here. 33 also fitting for transgender stuff. We'll just throw it in there. The word gay equals 33. AIDS equals 33. Fags equal 33. The word queer equals 66. But what's interesting about that, it's 33 plus 33. But if you write out 33, it equals 66, you know? So, ton more examples of that as well. But just know that it's an important number. So one last thing, and then I'll end the video here, keep it short, but 64 is also a number that is interestingly connected to transgenders and gays and everything else, because everything's about civil rights. Civil rights in Gematria equals 64. Remember, the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964 by Lyndon B. Johnson, who equals 64. He also died at the age of 64. There's a lot more that goes along with that, but we'll stay on topic here. I'm going to end the video. If you don't know what Gematria is, please check out the link in the description and go to the media articles, apply this knowledge for yourself. It's used every single day. It's used against us, and we need to take this world back. And the only way that we're going to do that is if more people understand this system and how it works. So, have a good one. Peace.